Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you don't want to listen to me ramble throughout this video, then you can scrub along the timeline and you'll find the screenshots at the end. Moving on, in today's little video, I make a wooden raft out of the live edit objects in game while also using the tool mod to manipulate them. I got the inspiration from an image I saw in Pinterest that's originally from ArtStation. It was like a project, a student project for one of the concept artists there at that time. I think it's from the FZD School of Design. Like I'm not sure if you can see it as much as I do, but I do it on my own Pinterest profile. But I see their work a lot on my timeline, and when I saw this post-apocalyptic inspired Raft, I just thought, since I like that kind of storyline personally, I might as well try to recreate it here on The Sims because I find it rather more interesting making those kinds of houses than like your typical modern house, your typical suburban home. I don't know. I just like it as like a film nerd myself, and I'm into those apocalypse, dystopian kind of films. It was just an easy bargain for me. Or like if I was choosing between making a modern house or a cottage type house, which I think I will do down the line, obviously because of the new pack is coming out soon. I think towards the end of July. I just thought, in the meantime, since I've been seeing houseboats a lot, or at least if you know a guy or you know this YouTuber called Cozy Builds, he's like I think he's at almost 1,000 subscribers. He also posts on Reddit if you follow the Sims 4 subreddit. He makes these like tiny houses, interesting tiny houses, and I think in one of his recent videos, he's been posting, I think, 3 or 4 houseboats. Initially, I was going to make a houseboat. I wanted to give it a go, but then again, I saw this wooden raft looking thing or raft concept art on Pinterest, and I thought that would be more interesting rather than just making a houseboat. So I decided to do just that. And I know if you have the tool mod enabled or the better build by mod from Twisted Maxi, you get additional foundation options, and one of them is, if you haven't noticed it yet, a clear foundation. Although with the clear foundation, as you can see at the very bottom of the image, is there's like an opening, like a void of some sort that I will sort out eventually. But in the meantime, this is just me figuring out the angles for all the wood stuff to make it look like, oh, it looks like it looks handmade. It looked like a DIY project. It looked like somebody who was just foraging from his surroundings, trying to make a raft because it's his island or his town has been zombie infected, and he's trying to just not live in a land area because he just thinks it's better to just live in the sea because zombies can't swim. At least that's what I know from the lore I've read in the past. You'll never know. Well, at least this is the storyline I have for mine. Anyways, enough of me trying to give you a backstory or trying to give you a poorly given backstory for why I created this build. The inspiration behind it really was, one, the concept art that I saw on Pinterest, and two, Cozy Builds, the YouTuber. If you don't know him, check him out. I'll link his channel down in the description, like I always do with when I find inspiration for my houses. I just think it's nice to give them a shout because I like building a community here. I only have like over 100 subscribers, and majority of my videos that do well are the shorts, which I think is kind of sad. But you take what you can get, and hopefully, collaborating with these people, or like, let's say, like for me personally, I'm on Instagram. You can also check me out there if you want. There's so many simmers there. There's like a big community there where you can just find inspiration from. Sometimes because when you're like an artist or you make stuff as a job or a side gig, even it's hard to find inspiration. I mean, it's your job. So to be a part of a community where you're challenged to do things, to think out of the box, like what I was saying about Instagram is when you are on it, you find your Sims 4 community or Sims community. There are people there who have these challenges to commemorate like a milestone for their own profile, and more often than not, it's very fun little projects to take on or challenges, and it's nice to just be there and find people who are probably similar as you, who have their own YouTube channels. But personally, I'll subscribe to sim channels like mine, but I just find I don't want to force people like those similar sims channels like mine to follow me back, because I know, or personally, I just find it kind of hard to watch other people create houses or who are trying to grow as well, if that makes any sense or if that makes me sound bad, because you're kind of busy trying to improve your own channel. And although it's nice to use other people as references, but if you do so much research all the time without any doing, it just kind of like negates the whole purpose of having a channel itself, if you can't really just put your head down and just do work. And hopefully, if you've done the work, you'll reap the benefits down the line. And if you think you're not reaping any of the benefits despite doing the work, then you can use your fellow simmers to like as a reference to what am I doing wrong, or what can I possibly do better to improve myself. Moving on, you'll notice in a few seconds we'll change locations in a while, because I found that although I've used this location in the past in Solani, I think it's not as deep as I'd like it to be, like what you can see right now. I've used that location for my tiny hut house. If you'd like to see that too, it's just in my channel profile. You can check it out if you're into off the grid wooden stuff like me. Anyways, but yeah, I changed the location to here because it's deeper. I can raise the houseboat a little higher, and you'll see later in the video when I add the coral reefs, it looks better here because there's already coral reefs that are there on the corner of the screen, that if you can see it or if you've noticed. And if you've noticed in the thumbnail, it just looks like it fits in with the world perfectly. It looks like some dude who's like on his raft or this raft, and I'm like, oh, body of water. No, not body of water, a land area. I can dock my raft nearby, so might as well do it and chill out a bit in this land area, in this post-zombie apocalyptic world. Maybe I'll forage for supplies. I don't know, but yeah, or it could be just some dude who's like, I'm against capitalism and I just want to live in a raft and go dock my raft near a area of land so I can buy supplies. Anyways, enough of my stupid analogies and backstories. One of the reasons that really pushed me to make this lore-driven raft was the barrels that you just saw me place a few minutes ago. I just think it just fits in with the whole lore behind the raft. And also, if you look up wooden rafts on Google Images, the first thing you see are people doing the same thing, just getting barrels, I think, filled with water. I don't know what they fill it with, or it's just hollow inside, but they place a plank over it and voila, you have your own little raft you can ride in some place. Yeah. And I've noticed that although this build is rather small in comparison to the other houses I've done, even though I've made small houses in general from this point on, or for whatever, it's still kind of 6 minutes longer than I really wanted it to be, but I didn't want to cut off any parts where I was trying to make the structure of the houseboat, or when I was manipulating objects left and right using the tool mod and using some of the live edit objects available to us in game. I mean, I could have not included some parts of like me making the flooring and stuff, but anyways, it's there if you want to recreate it. Now, I'm quite grateful that I found that sail looking thing, or that flag looking thing from Solani, because it kind of embodies what the sail flag thing that you can see normally in other boats. So the fact that I found one, it really helps finish off the build. And also, if you notice, I'm using the same flooring as ceiling for this area of the build. It's because unlike other live edit objects, I was considering placing a different kind. This one in particular, your sim can still pass through it or can still interact with objects underneath it. So you'll see later in the video, I'll place something there and the sim can still interact with it, like a garden plant thing. So basically, after this part, we'll soon begin what do you call this? Designing the interior, or basically furnish it. We're gonna furnish it soon. So yeah, uh, designing the interior. Anyways, apologies for my brain malfunctioning for a minute there. But yeah, I will furnish it soon, and you'll notice when you compare the interior of now to the interior of later, which is the screenshots at the end of the video, it looks pretty different because it is pretty different. And the reason behind it is because I play tested the game and there are areas in game that the sim can't get to. Like these chairs over here, you'll notice I'll probably show it too. I think there's a portion of the video, or there's a portion in this video where I do show me transferring some of the items to the other side. So basically that dinner table will be moved to the left side of the raft, and those a fuel generating what you call it, the ones you can harvest. There you can see right now that it basically from the right of the raft it shifted to the left, and that's because when I play tested the ladder, it didn't work the way I wanted it, or it didn't work in general. Hence, I just moved it because I always think it's like it prefers the sim to it prefers in the sense that it kind of prefers it to be on the left. That makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hit or miss with these kinds of things, and you just have to play test it because I like that my builds, despite it looking a particular way, it's still playable. Because I just like the whole reason why I make these kinds of builds is because of the lore behind it. And if you can't play with it, it kind of negates the whole point of me making it. And yeah, and now you can see me trying to make a rudder out of some of the tool items you find, or not tool items, but the live edit items you see in game. It's just one of those things. If you have the tool mod, it's like opening Pandora's box, and there's just these world of opportunities that are open to you that you normally wouldn't have if you don't have the mod. So the fact that if there's one mod you should probably download, especially if you're a builder, it's the tool mod. It just allows you to make so much stuff. It's like discovering move objects for the first time. The fact that you discovered it for the first time allows you to do so much stuff in game, or build so much stuff in game that you normally can't. Like in The Sims 3, when I discovered the constraint levels, something allows you to make freezes, or allows you to make like mezzanines in game, and like a more interesting foundation in game. It also elevated the way I made houses in The Sims 3. Although I think, like I've always been saying, The Sims 4 is the superior building sim. But anyways, yeah, the structure of the house or the items in general aren't or will not be the same when you look through the screenshots at the end, which is coming in like a minute or so. So if you can just fast forward a little bit more, if you don't want to listen to me fill up the time till that happens, then so be it. Go for it. This is just me adding little finishing touches, and here I am doing the landscaping like I was talking about earlier in the video. It just fits in perfectly well with the world that I placed it in, and it seems seamless. It looks like it doesn't have foundation. It seems like it's really floating in water. And yeah, I just think it finishes off the build better than I initially hoped. And the screenshots are coming in any minute now. I don't need to fill the void. The screenshots, here we are. So just like I was saying, it looks so nice. And also this photo right here, I included it because it looks nice. And it looks also nice when I share in the gallery. It has that surfboard looking thing. It's like an entrance of some kind. But yeah, these are shots of the exterior of the build. With the rudder, you can see the rudder. It looks so nice. I am pleased with myself. I didn't think it'll turn out this well. Halfway through it, when I was trying to find a way to do it, at first I was like, oh god, this is just too difficult to do. Like, is it even worth it? It's such a small house, but it's taking me so much time to figure out how I'm going to make it. But in the end, it looks nice and it fits with the lore I had in mind when I first started it. And you'll see, like what I've been saying since a while ago, that the items are kind of rearranged in a way just to make it more playable. And I know a huge chunk of the time allotted for this build was me making the exterior and not really the interior, which makes sense because I'm trying to make a raft in The Sims when they don't really expect you to make rafts or boats in The Sims. There aren't any houseboats in The Sims. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you like it, and I hope this finds a slot in your save file. If you want to download it from the gallery, it's there. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a great day wherever you may be. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.